It's a high-speed game of fetch. Put your best 4 dogs up against the lights of Las Vegas. They call it Flyball. Let the games begin. Today on Top Dogs. Welcome to sunny and warm Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here for the Flyball Tournament multi-breed division. Hello, everyone. I'm Al Stafford, alongside color commentator Jerry Quintuzzi. You'll be watching this event from the University of Nevada at Las Vegas campus. And while they make final course preparations, let me tell you a little bit about Flyball. Teams of dogs moving at breakneck speed in probably the fastest relay race you're likely to see. And while those teams make their final preparations and discuss strategy, we're going to take you and show you the course that they'll be running here at the UNLV campus this afternoon. Jerry?
Flyball consists of 2 teams of 4 dogs racing side by side. They go up the start line, over 4 jumps as quickly as they can, hit the flyball box, the ball pops out, the dog grabs the ball, and back across those 4 jumps just as fast as they can on the finish line. There are 4 dogs running on each team. It's the total time of all 4 dogs that counts.
And a good time on a flyball course is somewhere between 20 and 25 seconds. You know, since we're in Las Vegas, we couldn't pass up the chance to show you some of the colorful characters here today.
Oh, my hat. My hat is because he's from Las Vegas. His name is Watch Me Adam, the headliner. And so I try and have things that are sparkly and glamorous as though he were a headliner here in Las Vegas. That's why I try to get collars that have stars on it and things like that. He's my pride and joy.
While they make some final adjustments to the timing mechanism out here in Las Vegas, let's feature some of the dogs that you'll be watching from the 6 teams we'll be showing you this afternoon. From the Flying Aces, Tanner is, less than 2 years old, but is already an excellence champion in this sport of flyball. Sage, a 3-year-old who loves the competition. There are 2 teams out here called Flying Colors. These 2 dogs from the F4s. Freckles, an 18-month-old rescue dog, and Fry, a 7-year-old. Not great speed, but Fry is a very steady competitor. From Pandemonium, dogs Gopher and Alex. Alex, a 5-year-old who excels in obedience, and Gopher, not just an athlete, recently won the Sexiest Dog Alive competition. Our next team to feature is Wolfgang. This team has been together for 5 years, and Rhodey is one of the 2 original members from this flyball team. Sophie also enjoys the sport of agility and is a 2.5-year-old. From Flying Colors UFOs, Stella Ray, who just began competing a few short months ago, and Stealth, a former rescue greyhound from Arizona, and one of the few greyhounds you'll find in flyball. Final team we'll look at here today, Touch and Go. Lacey is a racing champion in the Jack Russell Terrier Club of America, and Bryson, the #1 Mal in the North American Flyball Association. This Grand Slam Flyball tournament is a round-robin affair. In the first half, you get 1 point for winning 3 out of the 5 heats, and in the second half, each team gets a point for every heat they win. Let's take you now inside the exciting world of flyball.
Flyball really is a team relay sport. 2 teams running against each other over a 52-foot course. Go over 4 hurdles, set at whatever height your shortest dog is, to a flyball box. A flyball box has got a pedal on it. The dog has to hit the pedal. Ball comes out. The dog has to grab the ball, run back.
Did I get a flag?
I like flyball mostly because my dog loves flyball. He gets so excited. It's so much fun for him, so it makes it fun for me.
It's a lot of fun. It gets your emotions flying. Very emotional sport for me.
Very good exercise for the dogs. It's great fun for the people.
It's a rush. It's fun for them and it's fun for us. I love it. So we just have a good time. Huh. You're not supposed to yawn.
It looks complicated, and it's so fast that it's hard to think that you could train dogs to do all that in under 16 seconds.
The racing is so rapid. Now everything is done electronically. The starts are done with a Christmas tree, just like they do in automobile drag racing. All the timing is done electronically. As the dogs pass, the dog leaving cannot cross the start-finish line before the dog coming back has. So now they've set up electronic eyes so that when the dogs pass like this, it becomes, you can't see it. They go so fast.
Come on, 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 come on.
Most dogs and most teams are average household dogs that eat the regular stuff every day, and you go out and throw the ball for them and you have a wonderful time. And there are some dogs that take well to it. There are some dogs that don't take well to it. But I think the vast majority of dogs that take well to it are very visually driven. They have the need to please their owner. They love a tennis ball as one of their toys, and they do just tremendously as far as once they catch on to what you want them to do, they just love it. It just gives them all the energy. Some of them get just wild.
It's just fun to watch them progress and come along, and sometimes they're a little bit hesitant to learn because they have to learn to jump over the jumps, and they also have to learn to trigger the box, to catch the ball, and then to turn at the same time and run back over the 4 jumps. And then they have to learn to do that all as one fluid motion, but then they also have to learn to not run into the other dogs, to not run over to the other lane. I mean, there's a whole series of things, which is why I like it, because you see the dogs just come along, and at some point it just all connects. And when it connects, it's really exciting because then they just get faster and faster. That's what this game is about. Speed.
When we come back, the first heats from the Grand Slam Flyball Tournament from Las Vegas. Welcome back to the Grand Slam Flyball Tournament from Las Vegas, Nevada. We're on the UNLV campus, and let's show you the 2 teams who will be competing head-to-head in the first heats of this competition today. From Las Vegas, Nevada, the Flying Aces. 3 Border Collies on this team, but they are always fast out of the starting gate because they use Adam, a whippet, in the first leg of this relay race. Flying Aces are captained by Gail Workman. And they'll be up against the Flying Colors F4s, one of the 2 Flying Colors teams here today. This one from Las Vegas, Nevada. And the mixture of dogs they'll be using today, a German Shepherd, a Border Collie, a Jack Russell Terrier, and Freckles, a mixed breed, runs the anchor leg for the F4s, who are captained by Chris Pickering. The first leg dogs are at the start line. Closest to the camera is the Flying Colors F4s. And you're looking at Fry there, the German Shepherd. In the far lane, the blue lane, will be the Flying Aces. And they're off, and Fry gets the fastest start first over the line. Easy pickup on that tennis ball. And there's, we've got a miss here. That's Captain, the Border Collie. Didn't take any of the jumps going to the box. So Captain's going to have to run that again, but that's going to be a big problem for this F4 team. Here comes Freckles now running the anchor leg. They'll have to send, and there goes Captain once again. This time, Captain makes all the jumps. Quick pickup on that tennis ball and crosses the finish line. Unfortunately, a no finish for Flying Colors. Flying Aces take the first heat.
You can see Captain just pull off to the right here a little bit to avoid Fry and misses every jump going down.
So give the first heat to the Flying Aces, and let's run them again. That's Kelly, the Cocker Spaniel, running the anchor leg for the Flying Aces. There's Adam, the Whippet, very fast off the start. Bangs hard into that fly ball box. And here comes the next dog, Sage. Tanner is the Border Collie, running the third leg for the Flying Aces. And now here comes Kelly, the Cocker Spaniel, just barely clearing those jumps, and pretty quick for a Cocker Spaniel. And first across the finish line, the Flying Aces win that heat as well.
Let's take another look at that run by Kelly. What an excellent little dog. Hits the box, get the ball in one snap, and away she goes over those jumps. She's an excellent working little dog.
Third heat now between the Flying Aces and the Flying Colors F4s. The light tree ready to go. They can't go across the line until the light turns green. And once again, Adam the Whippet timing it perfectly and much faster across the line than Fry, the German Shepherd. And that gives the Flying Aces an excellent advantage here. Now the third dog on that team, Tanner, the Border Collie, leaving it all to Kelly, the Cocker Spaniel. Kelly has to beat Freckles, the mixed breed, across the finish line. No problem there. Give the third heat to the Flying Aces as well. The next heat's featuring head-to-head competitions between the Flying Colors UFOs, and they're from Las Vegas, Nevada. The makeup of that team, a Boston Terrier cross, a Border Collie, a Lab, and a Greyhound. And there's Stealth right there. They're up against, from California, Pandemonium. And Pandemonium will be running today a Black Lab, a Border Collie, a mixed breed, and an Australian cattle dog. Now, the interesting thing about Pandemonium is this team started from scratch. A lot of teams are formed as splinter groups off of other clubs. Pandemonium had to learn things the hard way, and they're captained by Deb Logford. They're ready to go. You're taking a look at Nell. That's the Border Collie running for the UFOs in the far lane. In the lane closest to the camera, their lead dog, Alex, the Black Lab. And there's Shelby. Shelby slow and steady, barely clearing those jumps. Next is Watson. And Watson's going to make way now for Stealth, who runs the anchor leg for the UFOs. Very quick for Stealth, but misses the jump on the way back. And that's going to cost Flying Colors a no finish there. Pandemonium takes the heat.
You can see Stealth here. She gets the ball, has problems there, and then makes a wide turn and just misses that first jump. Cuts in nicely, though, and catches the last three.
Let's show you another heat now between the UFOs and Pandemonium. Now you're looking at the lead dog, Alex, the Black Lab. Very quick, very sure-footed. Up next is Zoe. No problem on the pickup there. Zoe's going to make way for Gopher. Gopher very quick over all of those jumps, and nice technique there at the box. And finally bringing it home, that's Sydney. And here's Stealth once again. Problem, can't seem to find the ball. There it is in the feet. Now they're sending Zoe again, so there must have been a problem with Zoe's earlier run. Don't quite know what that is. We'll try to pick it up at the end for you here. Both teams now across the finish line.
Poor old Stealth here just gets the ball in the wrong spot, can't find it. Oops, there it is. She's a little slow on her pickup.
So 2-0 finishes for the UFOs. Give the point to Pandemonium. Next head-to-head competition, this is Wolfgang from California, and Wolfgang runs Keeper in the lead leg. Keeper, the top-ranked Chesapeake Bay retriever in the North American Flyball Association. They also have a Silky Terrier on the team. Wolfgang is captained by Nikki Myers. And they're up against Touch and Go. This will be the fastest team you see today. It's the only Division I team here in the multi-breed category, and Touch and Go competes internationally and is by far the class of this field.
The group is really great. The team is very small. It's only got about 10 people. They're truly dedicated. We train 2 to 3 times a week. We hope that the hard work pays off when we come out here.
Touch and Go won't win any of the Division II prizing here since they're the only Division I team in this event, but they are running for North American Flyball Association points, and that's why they're running this weekend in Las Vegas. You're looking at Chiron now, the German short-haired pointer, bringing it back for Lacey, who runs the anchor leg for Touch and Go. A quick turn there by Lacey, and you can see over in the far lane, that's Sophie, the golden retriever, picking things up for Wolfgang, and Lacey far and away the faster dog there. Touch and Go finishing in just under 20 seconds.
Let's have a quick look at some of the techniques at the box. We're going to see a right-hand pickup and turn with this dog. Now a left-hand turn and pickup, and note the smaller ball for the smaller dog.
Back at the start line, Bryson and Keeper. First dogs out of the chute there, and a nice clean start, but Bryson a little bit faster for Touch and Go. Pixel picking up the ball now and running it back for Rhodey, the little Silky Terrier. Very quick little dog, and just going over those short jumps there. The jumps are shorter because Rhodey is the shortest dog in the 4 for Wolfgang. Once again, though, Lacey across the finish line first. Touch and Go winning all 3 heats here. Let's take a short break. When we come back, more racing and a look at a very special competitor. Welcome back to Top Dogs from Las Vegas. There's a look at a future flyballer. While we have a moment, let's show you a very rare breed in this sport.
This is Stealth. He's 10 years old, and he's the flyball dog of the United States. He's quite a hero
amongst the greyhound owners, and probably world-renowned now because he's gotten into a book called Working Dogs. I started working for a law firm about 3 years ago. The boss that I started working for was the captain of the Flyball team. He brought out a tennis ball one day and he says, "Oh my God, look at that dog. Bring him to a practice." They couldn't believe how fast he just got oriented. You know, the one thing that's hard is that greyhounds are long and they're long-legged. He has to go hit that board, catch the ball, turn around and come back over the jumps. And if he's off at any point, he'll just blow off the jumps.
Stealth is the reason we have a greyhound. Since knowing Stealth, I found about his flyball fame. For me, the most important thing is his therapy dog fame. A year and a half ago, my mother was in the hospital with a broken back. One evening when we were on our way home, after visiting hours were over, we ran into Stealth and Allie and Dana in the lobby. And there was a small boy there who was about 8 years old. He had been in an automobile accident and he was in his wheelchair. And Stealth went over to him and Dana admonished him to be careful, and he tiptoed over and he leaned over the handrail of the wheelchair and he put his head against the little boy's heart, and he stood there like a statue. And I still get teary-eyed just thinking about it. And he just knew what that little boy needed, and the look of joy on that little boy's face.
He is a very accomplished dog. I'm very proud of him.
Greyhounds are wonderful dogs. They are very emotionally in tune with their humans and therefore make great pets.
And Stealth's handler, Dana Provost, is a representative for the Greyhound Pets of America. Now, this is a special organization that places former racing dogs with new owners after their career on the track is over. That's Shelby running the second leg for the Flying Colors UFOs team. Watson follows up the Boston Terrier cross. That ball looks awfully big in Watson's mouth. And here running the anchor leg is Stealth, the greyhound we featured just a moment ago. And a nice clean run there for Stealth. A great effort there by that greyhound.
It was a super run by a greyhound. Stealth is getting to be the senior citizen of the doggy world, and he does such a good job with this. Look at that nice pickup turn. He's not great and fast, but very steady.
Good job there by Stealth. However, the Flying Aces take that heat over the Flying Colors UFOs, and they're fast out of the blocks once again. That's Adam the Whippet for the Flying Aces. And as we mentioned earlier, that's one of the reasons why this team is so quick today, is that Whippet is so fast out of the blocks, it makes it difficult for the other team to get across the finish line. There's Kelly running the anchor leg for the Flying Aces. A quick, clean run for Kelly. Not exceptionally fast, but a very good run. Stealth missing that jump there up the top near the box. And a no finish, therefore, for the Flying Colors UFOs. The Aces win the heat.
Here's Stealth. Oh, just drops the ball, has a little bit of problems picking it up and turning around to get to the next jump.
So give the second heat to the Flying Aces. One more for the Aces, and they'll pick up the point here. There's Adam the Whippet, first across the start line, but a dead heat between Adam the Whippet and Nell the Border Collie for the Flying Colors UFOs team. They lose a little ground, though, to the Flying Aces here. That's Tanner the Border Collie running the third leg now for the Aces. And here comes Kelly the Cocker Spaniel. A nice clean pickup off the box. No trouble there. There you can see Stealth in your screen making the turn. Drops the ball, and, oh, forget about the jumps this time altogether. It looks like Stealth has just about had enough. But his handler's going to make him run it one more time. Dana Provost wants Stealth to get it right.
Oh, unfortunately, he loses the ball again and gets way off course and just takes this long to get back in and think, oh, there's a jump and I'll take it.
That'll be a no finish for the UFOs, so give the point to the Flying Aces.
This is Rhodey. She's an 8-year-old Silky Terrier, and she's currently the #2 Silky Terrier in NAFBA. I got her when she was 7 months old, and we started training her for Flyball 4 years ago. She was already 4 years old at the time. She does earth dog, or go to ground. She goes underground in a 30-foot tunnel to bark at rats. It's one of the newest AKC Terrier trials. And so we use this as training so she can go bark at those rats. And it's her favorite motivational toy. Get that, Rudy. Good girl, get that rat, Rudy. Terriers have a lot of drive. You have to give them something to do or they will find something to do. And I'd rather she was playing flyball or chasing rats underground than chewing up my furniture. And the jumps are set to the lowest dog, the smallest dog. So with her running, the team has to run 9 inches, or 8 inches rather. There are some teams that have faster height dogs, but I say we have one of the cutest height dogs.
Next up on the race course will be Rhodey and his Wolfgang teammates up against the Flying Colors F4s. But Jerry, let's talk a little bit about the strategy employed by these teams when they use a height dog like Rhodey.
Height dogs are meant to bring the height of the jump down lower, and therefore the bigger dogs can almost just step over them. You'll see some of the larger dogs only take 1 stride between 2 jumps. It makes them be able to go much, much faster.
There's Rhodey now running the 3rd leg for Wolfgang, and crossing the line, that is Sophie, the Golden Retriever. Very quick for Sophie. You can see no problem getting over those low jumps, but there's a problem on the other side of the race course, a problem at the box, Jerry.
Well, it seems like the wrong size ball's been put in there, and Hobbs is looking for his ball. He wants his smaller ball, and where is it? And that's what he's looking for. There it is. There it is, and he gets it. That's his ball.
Simply a case where the dog knew what was going on. A bit of a problem with the gentleman loading up the box. Here's the 4th heat now between Flying Colors F4 and Wolfgang. Flying Colors F4 won the first 2 that we did not show you. Wolfgang came back in heat number 3. Clean pickup there by Hobbs, and turns things over to Freckles for the anchor leg here. Very quick across the finish line. The Freckles handlers stopped. They're going to make him run it again. There's obviously been a problem there. That's really going to slow down the time for F4 here.
You're going to see the problem is that Freckles leaves just a second too soon when Hobbs is coming back, and then right there, see that? So close.
So here we go now to the final heat, Wolfgang versus Flying Colors F4. And quick out of the starting gate there for Flying Colors F4. That's their lead dog, Fry, the German Shepherd. And Captain, the Border Collie, now takes it. There's Hobbs, no problem this time at the box. Hobbs gets the right size ball. Freckles the mix, very fast across the finish line, and Flying Colors takes that heat. So give the point to the F4s over Wolfgang. We're going to take a short break here. The competition is heating up, and so is the weather. We'll have more top dogs from Las Vegas in just a moment. Welcome back to Las Vegas. That's Rhodey from Wolfgang. They're up against the Flying Aces next. Let's see some of the dogs she'll be facing.
Kelly is a Border Collie and an American Cocker Spaniel body. She really has tons and tons of energy. This is a dog that needs to be kept busy. She wants to do everything and loves to do everything.
Sage, she's a mix of Border Collie and cattle dog. We got her from a ranch in Reno, and her mom just loved to play fetch, and she would just run up and throw a stick at your feet like every second, and you just throw it out in the bushes, and she'd go get it and bring it back. So I think she got it mostly from her mom. Well, she's been doing it about 1.5 years now, and we were really pleased with her because she just took to it like that. Probably 3 or 4 times over the hurdles. She could do it with no problem. So, yeah, she's turned out to be a really good flyball dog.
So here we go, Wolfgang versus the Flying Aces. And it looks like a clean start. There's Adam the Whippet trying to give Sage a bit of an edge there. A quick pickup by Sage and very fast over the jumps. Handing things off to Tanner, the Border Collie. And here comes Kelly, the Cocker Spaniel, bringing it home now for the Flying Aces. Another quick pickup there. And it looks like the Flying Aces have taken this particular heat. Let's check the times. Yep, Flying Aces a slight edge over Wolfgang.
Let's have another look at Sage. This is a dog who would use his advantage of the height dog. Look at that stride. 1 stride between each jump as he flies home.
Heat number 4 now between Wolfgang and Flying Aces. Flying Aces have a 2-1 lead here and can take the point if they win the heat. That's Adam in a dead heat once again against Keeper, the Retriever. Those dogs have been running very even now. Pixel against Sage. And Sage gets across quickly and cleanly. Here comes Kelly, the Cocker Spaniel. Another nice clean pickup. No problem over the jumps. Let's give this one to the Flying Aces.
Well, he's a rescue dog. I got him when he was about 1 year old. He's about 7 right now. He's got titles in Schutzum and birdie, agility, and flyball. Somebody bet me that I couldn't train him to do it. He wasn't a good retriever. Didn't really want to have anything to do with the tennis ball, so I took the dare. And you can see where he went. Yes, I know.
Next on the race course, the F4s closest to you against Pandemonium in the far lane. Now the F4s won the first 2 heats here, but it's Pandemonium out to the early lead. That's Alex the Lab up against Fry the German Shepherd.
You don't see many German Shepherds in this sport, and it's a wonderful thing to see such a well-rounded dog.
That's Hobbs, the Jack Russell Terrier, against Gopher, running the third leg. Oh, we got a problem there now with Freckles, the mixed breed. He missed all the jumps. They're going to have to send him back, and that's really going to cost this team.
Freckles just seemed to completely miss the jumps. He focused on his box, didn't see the jumps at all, just runs right by them, focuses there, gets his ball, and then comes back over the jumps. What a shame.
A costly mistake, but Flying Colors F4 still with a 2-1 lead after Pandemonium takes Heat 3. Here we go in Heat 4, and once again, Alex the Lab giving Pandemonium the early lead against Fry the German Shepherd. Now, Captain, the Border Collie, will try and tighten things up a little bit, and as they turn it over to Hobbs and Gopher, you can see that Gopher has a slight edge. Here come the anchors now. It's Freckles against Sydney. Sydney running in the far lane. Freckles at the wire, and it's Sydney. So Pandemonium takes that heat as well.
Look at this. It's almost a photo finish with Sydney just a stride ahead.
So it's all even now. F4s and Pandemonium, 2 heats each. The winner of this heat is going to take the point, and they start dead even now. Fry against Alex. Here they come across the start-finish line. Fry slows down a little bit. Oh, and looks like there was a false start there. They're going to have to do this again. Dogs are ready at the starting line. And here they go. Alex the Lab, a slight edge against Fry the German Shepherd at the pickup. Alex is first across the line. And right behind him is Zoe the Border Collie, running very well for Pandemonium. There's Gopher now. Good pickup by Gopher. And Hobbs, the Jack Russell Terrier, a little bit behind Gopher. Can Freckles make up the difference here? Here they are at the wire. And Freckles gets across first, so give the point there to F4s over Pandemonium. Freckles just edging out Sydney at the wire.
Sydney's an Australian cattle dog with so much energy that it brings a whole new dimension to being a dog owner. No couch potato with this girl around. Sydney just turned 4 last October. Well, Sydney is definitely a one-person dog. She's quite a little nipper. Yeah, she's pretty quick. She's definitely not a Border Collie, but she can move.
Now we switch to the second half. Pandemonium up against Wolfgang. And as we mentioned earlier, the point system changes in the second half. Instead of winning 1 point for taking 3 out of 5 heats, they run 3 heats each, and each team gets a point for every heat they win. This is Rhodey up against Gopher, and Gopher makes the turn first. And Gopher's off course all of a sudden. That's going to cost this team. Here come the anchors, Sophie against Sydney. And Sydney crosses the line first, but that's going to be a no finish for Pandemonium because of that mistake there by Gopher.
And here's the second mistake. Alex is coming back, and Zoe just can't wait and crosses the start line a bit too soon.
So Pandemonium and Wolfgang have a point each as we head into heat number 3. The dogs straining against their handlers as they wait in anticipation here at the start line. And they're underway. And this time Alex gets the early lead against Keeper, but Keeper makes a quick turn and makes up that ground. Now we've got Zoe up against Pixel. We go into the third dogs here, and we're looking at Gopher against, and Rhodey the Terrier's got a problem over there in the far lane. Looks like he lost the ball. And now we've got another problem here with Sydney. Sydney misses a jump, and Pandemonium gets a no finish. Wolfgang ends up getting the point there.
Poor Sydney here, she gets her ball, turns, and she's got a poor hold on it. See how she's trying to get it in her mouth fully? And in that process, she misses the first jump and just pulls into the second one.
So Wolfgang gets 2 points here, and they're going again. There may be some confusion down there on the race course. It's only supposed to be 3 heats here. They're running a 4th heat. Wolfgang up against Pandemonium. Let's take a look. So far, it's Pandemonium with a slight edge here. And here come the anchors, Sydney. And Sydney misses 2 jumps there and crosses the finish line. Well, the official is signaling towards Pandemonium, but it doesn't look like they're going to count that last race. Wolfgang with the 2 points. Pandemonium finishes with 1. Next on the race course, we've got the Flying Colors UFOs up against the Division 1 team Touch and Go. And you're looking at Nell, the Border Collie from the UFOs, running in the near lane. Touch and Go running in the far lane. Nell makes way for Shelby, the Lab. Shelby drops the ball and is really slowed down here.
Oh dear, it looks like Shelby's having some problems here. Perhaps it's heat stroke. It's very warm here today, and Shelby's really slowed down and has just lost all her desire.
Well, they're going to end it right here. The handlers have come over, and they're not even going to finish running this heat. We'll get you an update on Shelby in just a moment when we're back with more coverage of the Grand Slam Flyball Tournament from Las Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas. There's a good sign. Shelby frolicking in the pool, the tail's wagging. It looks like Shelby will be fine after cooling off in this Las Vegas heat. A rundown on the first half numbers. Touch and Go picking up 5 points. And in Division 2, the Flying Aces with 4 points. Flying Colors F4's got 3. Pandemonium with 2, and Wolfgang and Flying Colors UFOs shut out so far. Now let's take a look at a dog that has really overcome the odds to return to competitive flyball.
Bailey was a rescue dog. She came to us when she was almost 8 months old. I saw a flyball demonstration at our local animal shelter, and I think my jaw just dropped because I knew that's what I wanted Bailey to do. I just knew that that would be the perfect outlet for all of her enthusiasm and anxiety. So we signed up in May of '94. In October of '94, I found a small lump sitting right here. If a dog had an Adam's apple, it would be sitting right there, and immediately took her to my vet. And the next day, my vet removed the tumor. We sent it to the lab for biopsy, and it was the worst news you could ever expect. The prognosis they gave us was guarded to poor, so my vet really didn't give me much hope for Bailey's future. We got really lucky. 18 weeks of chemo. We went once every 3 weeks for 18 weeks. Here we are, almost 4 years later, and this girl is clean. She never quite ran the same again. She's lost a lot of her speed, and now she double strides, but that to me has just been absolutely acceptable of her because she's having fun. The most important thing is for people never to give up hope. The joy that this dog has brought me, money could not buy the kind of love and joy that this dog has brought me in the 7.5 years that she's lived with me. She's a great dog.
What a heartwarming story. You should never give up hope on your dog.
While the racing continues, let's take a look at Freckles, who runs anchor for Flying Colors F4.
She's an 18-month-old mix. We got her from a pound. And she had some big dog issues, but she's calmed down. So we're having fun with her. I'm learning a lot. And it's exhausting.
So it's Freckles and the F4s up against the Flying Aces now in these heats, and the Flying Aces have made a couple of changes. That's Dixie, a blue heeler, now running the lead leg, and Tanner flies right over top of Dixie and hands things off now to, this is the other change, this is Timber and Airedale running for the Flying Aces, and Kelly the Cocker Spaniel bringing up the rear.
On deck, Flying Aces.
And it looks like, they've got to send Tanner once again, so obviously there was a problem with Tanner on the course. Tanner crosses the finish line and give the first point to the F4s. There's F4's captain, Chris Pickering, with her dog, Captain. And each team has a point now as we head into the third heat. Dixie quick off the start line, a quick pickup there. Faster than Fry, the German Shepherd, who's really slowed down this afternoon. Here comes Tanner, again very quick. And it looks like the Flying Aces have a strong lead here. And there's Hobbs, the Jack Russell Terrier, running the third leg. And turning things over now to Freckles, the mixed breed dog. But Kelly the Cocker Spaniel beats Freckles and give the final event to the Flying Aces. Next competitors, the Flying Aces up against Wolfgang. Flying Aces took the first heat here, so already have 1 point, and they've changed the lineup and gone back to the lineup from the first half with Adam the Whippet running lead. Sage is back in, running the second leg. Wolfgang Pixel is running the second leg there. Tanner's back in running number 3 for the Flying Aces. Rhodey in the far lane now for Wolfgang. And there's Kelly the Cocker Spaniel picking it up and taking it home. And Sophie the Golden Retriever is well behind, so the Flying Aces take a point here as well.
Look at this good tight exchange. Times are so close on this one.
Third heat now between Wolfgang and Flying Aces. The Flying Aces with 2 points already. Adam the Whippet staking the Aces to a quick lead. Keeper the Retriever hanging in there, but a little bit behind. As we head to the third dogs, and you can see that Pixel is running much slower over on the far lane. There's Rhodey the Silky Terrier. And even Rhodey seems to be running a little bit slower now in this Las Vegas heat this afternoon. Sophie, the Golden Retriever, bringing it home now for Wolfgang. But it looks like the Flying Aces will pick up the point there as well. It's not easy staying cool in this Las Vegas heat. We've got more racing for you, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Las Vegas. As you can see, the long shadows, but still a very warm afternoon out there. Still plenty of excitement, too, as you can see from this little youngster. Many of the dogs still trying to keep cool, though, in this Las Vegas heat. You know, the dogs really haven't changed all that much over the years, but the sport has really evolved in terms of the equipment being used.
When we started playing flyball, almost all of the tournaments were hand-judged and hand-timed. Now it's just it's the opposite. Almost all the tournaments, all the ones we've been to in the last several years, have been electronically timed. And the electronic timing system is started and stopped by the judge, but that's about all the judge has to do with the actual timing. So the complaints of bias or favoritism, they've disappeared. And times have become, I think as a consequence, much faster as well as much more accurate. I took the light tree from the National Hot Rod Association and I connected it to a motherboard that we designed just for timing flyball. Each lane has 12 sensors, photoelectric sensors, infrared sensors, that time the dogs as they break the beams. And then it reads out on a computer that's on the scorekeeper's table. It is higher tech than a stopwatch. It times to 1/100,000th of a second.
The lights make a real big difference. Used to be the line judges flagged and people would get mad at them. So you can't argue with the lights.
It's more accurate than a stopwatch. And today, for the first time in 4 years of using this system, we had a dead heat to 100,000ths of a second had to be rerun. Never had that happen before.
This is a very fast sport, and the human eye is often not quick enough to catch the close races. That's why they brought in timing lights.
We're getting down towards the end of the competition this afternoon. Our next heat featuring the F4s versus Touch and Go. The F4s are in the lane closest to you. Touch and Go in the far lane. That's Fry, the German Shepherd, the lead dog for the F4s. And you can see in the background there, Fancy the Border Collie, really picking up speed for Touch and Go. Hobbs, the Jack Russell Terrier, picks the ball up. And, we've got a miss here by Freckles. That's not the first time Freckles has done that this afternoon. Did well going over the jumps going back, but missed the jumps on the way there. His handler is sending him back again. Looks like this will be a clean run for Freckles, but we'll have to give the first point to Touch and Go this afternoon because of that mistake. Pretty good time for Touch and Go, too, just over 20 seconds.
Here's Freckles again, missing his jump. Freckles has a hard time with it. It's almost like he focuses too much on his ball and forgets to do his jumping.
So Touch and Go winning the first two heats here. Let's show you heat 3 now. And again, in the near lane, that's Fry, the German Shepherd. Running in the far lane, they've made a change for Touch and Go. That's Bullet, a mixed breed, who is running the lead leg now instead of Bryson, the Belgian Mau. That's Cairo running the third leg, and bringing up the rear now, Lacey, the Jack Russell Terrier. And once again, Touch and Go is the fastest team here this afternoon by a fairly wide margin there. And no doubt about it, winners in all three heats. We've got 2 more races to go this afternoon. Our next set of competitors will be the Flying Colors F4s up against Pandemonium. And the Flying Colors F4 is the only Flying Colors team left in this competition now. The Flying Colors UFOs, you'll recall earlier this afternoon, having that problem with Shelby. Well, following that, Flying Colors UFOs pulled the team entirely. We're looking at heat number 2 here, the F4s versus Pandemonium. F4s winning the first heat. And Sydney has missed a jump now for Pandemonium, and that's going to be costly. It looks like, yeah, no finish for Pandemonium. Flying Colors gets the point.
Once again, Sydney has trouble catching the ball and holding it and misses the first jump.
So we get ready for the last heat. There's Alex for Pandemonium. He'll be running the lead leg as he has been doing all day. And the dogs look hot, but the tails are still wagging. It looks like they're still having a good time. Fry, the German Shepherd, getting things going now for Flying Colors F4. And Alex makes the turn a little bit faster for Pandemonium, giving Pandemonium a slight edge here. That's Captain, the Border Collie, now in the far lane, but Pandemonium still with the edge. Gopher out on the course. Hobbs desperately trying to catch up. And we head down to the anchors, Freckles versus Sydney. Freckles has been faster this afternoon. And it looks like Freckles is faster once again. Picks up the Frisbee. Let's see the times. And yeah, the F4s take all 3 points here against Pandemonium.
This has been a great day of racing. The dogs are keeping their pace up race after race, even though it's been a fairly warm afternoon here.
And that sets up our final event of the afternoon. Touch and Go in the near lane. Over in the far lane, the Flying Aces, the 2 best teams in this event today. And they've made a slight change in Touch and Go's lineup. Bryson is back in as the lead dog. Bullet is now running second behind Bryson. And they keep the same number 3 and number 4 dogs. That's Cairo right there, running the third leg. And Lacey, the Jack Russell Terrier, will bring up the end for Touch and Go. And here's Kelly, the Cocker Spaniel. But as you can see, Lacey gets across the finish line first, and that'll be a point for Touch and Go. Again, a time of right around 20 seconds. Very good time.
And it is a great time because the handlers are out there keeping their dogs revved up, even though it is late in the afternoon.
So another point for Touch and Go. Cairo seems ready to go. There's Adam the Whippet leading it off now for the Flying Aces and trying to build up a big lead, but he's in tough against Bryson. And the Bullet picks up. And once again, Touch and Go looks to be the fastest team here. Cairo running very smooth as well. And not too many dogs are going to beat Lacey, this Jack Russell Terrier, even on a hot Las Vegas afternoon. Lacey across the finish line first. Another point for Touch and Go, and now they're down under 20 seconds.
It's hard to believe, but they're getting faster instead of slowing down. This is absolutely great racing today.
One final heat now. Bryson and Adam, the lead dogs, getting set to go. The handlers are ready. The tree is lit, and they're away. Bryson very quick going into the box, and he's got a big lead over Adam the Whippet, and it looks like it's not going to be much of a race now. Touch and Go well out in front of the Flying Aces. The Aces should not hang their heads, though. They've run a great afternoon. Lacey, the Jack Russell Terrier, is going to bring the last ball in, and that's going to do it once again. Touch and Go ahead of the Flying Aces to pick up that third point.
Look at the drive this dog has. Bryson is in excellent shape. He's well muscled and can just pull himself off and go over those jumps so fast. What a wonderful dog. And here we have Sage. Look at this catch and turn on a dime and back over again. That saves so much time with a team. It's great. And then we have Lacey, the little dog with the big heart. I've never seen a little dog clear jumps like that before.
One of these days we're going to beat you guys. That'd be so much fun. It's going to happen one of these days. I know, but it's fun.
Win or lose, smiles all around. We'll be back to recap the winners from Las Vegas in just a moment. Welcome back to sunny Las Vegas and a great afternoon here at the Grand Slam Flyball Tournament. There's Sage cooling off with a refreshing shower after a hot day of competition on the UNLV campus. And let's take a look at the final standings now. Touch and Go the class of the field with 15 points, but in Division 2, very tight at the top between the Flying Aces and Flying Colors F4. The Flying Aces winning with 11 points, Flying Colors F4 with 10, Pandemonium and Wolfgang with 5, and Flying Colors UFOs pulling out earlier in the day. They finished with no points. And time now for the awards. Jerry, it was a great afternoon of racing.
It was. The handlers get the plaques, but the dogs are the real little athletes in Flyball. They put their hearts and souls into these races. But you know, Al, nobody is here for the awards. They're here for the love of the sport.
That's true enough, Jerry. Let's take a look now at the best times of the day. You can see the top 3 teams, just how close they are competitively. Flying Aces with the fastest time of the day. That'll make Captain Gail Workman very happy.
We just had some really quick dogs, some good luck, and they're used to this kind of weather, which helps. Some of the teams coming in from other places aren't used to this weather, so, you know, this helps us out too. It was just a really good day.
Big smile on the face of Captain Gail Workman, and why not? She's got a great team of top dogs. The Flying Aces, Timber there, the Airedale, Tanner running so strong today, the Border Collie in the 3rd spot, Kelly, a Cocker Spaniel, bit of a surprise choice, but a very good anchor. Sage running strong in the number 2 position as well, and of course they had a lot of speed up front with Adam the Whippet leading the way for the Flying Aces. Well, they're tearing things down on the UNLV campus after the Grand Slam Flyball tournament. On behalf of Jerry Quincusi, this is Al Stafford saying so long from Las Vegas, Nevada.